Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Battleground Games Live.
Hi.
Hi, folks. Welcome to the Loft at Battleground Games and Hobbies in Abington, Massachusetts. Battleground Games and Hobbies, as we always say, your friendly local game store in the greater Boston, Massachusetts area with 3 convenient locations. One up in Saugus on Route 1, one down in Norton by the Xfinity Center, and one here in Abington that has a convenient loft from which we can stream.
Here we are.
Technically, I guess right now, there's a 4th location in Philadelphia, but we're not there.
It's a pop-up battleground.
PAX Unplugged is going on at the very moment that we're recording this, broadcasting this. So we are not at PAX Unplugged, unfortunately.
Very sad about that.
I'm
but if we were, we couldn't be here.
It's true. We couldn't be hanging out with you, our wonderful chat, and you, our YouTube viewers. But we are here. Hi, I'm Andrew, and with me today I have...
Amanda, hi.
And it's just the 2 of us today.
It's just us.
Travis couldn't be here. John couldn't be here.
Travis has a very early morning in the morning, and John is a mail carrier, and tis the season.
December.
Yeah. So we don't expect to see him all that much in December. We know things get very busy and work goes very late. But fortunately, we happen to have a 2-player game just waiting for us. We've had this for about a month and haven't had a chance to play it.
Yeah.
And here we are. Lobster of Revenge. Hello.
Thank you for the subscription. And did you get a...
And a resub. Ooh, I got an emote.
An emote?
I got a dreidel.
So yes, for anybody who happens to be hanging out in chat right now, if you subscribe right now during the month of December or gift subscriptions to people, folks get emotes, which is kind of cool.
God, the new green on the mod emote on the mod badge is like eye-searing.
Oh.
They shifted a bunch of colors and like their layout.
They changed their back end too.
Yeah, I gotta say, don't love hovering over who I'm following that's live and having it suddenly cover a chunk of my screen. Don't love it. I minimized that for a reason. And so that I can see my screen.
Let's see, it's my subversary.
Ooh.
So let me share that.
You'll share emotes. It's a lot of months there. 2 years for Lobster Revenge, though. That's like wild.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad that you can join us. Are you at a place where you can participate in the chat, or are you just listening at this stage? Because I know we often catch you during your commute.
All right.
I'm enjoying getting Christmas emotes, or holiday emotes.
I just got a dreidel,
yep,
so...
Exactly, they are not specifically Christmas.
So
They are December holiday emotes. So this is going to be a thrilling stream. Amanda and I are both very tired. I had
You're home
a
already.
double shift
Awesome.
yesterday. Amanda had...
My week was, it was sure a thing.
She had a meeting yesterday and 2 meetings today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
One being a union meeting, and I am a union officer, so I have to be there, and we've got some stuff going down. So, yeah, it's a thing. And I had to meet with the director and assistant director this morning about my branch, and my branch coworker, my branch assistant, who would normally be there for this meeting just so that like she would be a part of the conversation about what's going on in the branch and our stats. We were short-staffed enough that they couldn't spare her from the main library. So it was me solo with the director and assistant director.
Sorry.
And I like them both. They're both very nice people, and I get on well with both. I work well with both of them. But there's just a level of anxiety and stress to having a solo meeting with 2 administrators at once for like 3 hours.
So yeah, we're both exhausted. And we're playing a game neither of us have ever played before.
But we've played Hogwarts Battle.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle game is one that we love. We think it's a great game.
We've played it on stream
We've played it on stream. We made things more difficult for ourselves.
You mean by ramping up to the next
Yeah.
year? Yeah, we played year 3 most
We played year
recently.
3, and we happened to get the most difficult bad guys at the
That's
beginning
right.
of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
We inadvertently made it as difficult as possible for ourselves. But from what I can tell, this is very similar, but instead of being a cooperative, let's all fight one big baddie,
Yeah.
this is more like, say, Ascension, where you're buying things to build your deck,
Yep.
but you're fighting against each other. And there's sort of, there are kicks, and there are, we have hexes, and I would assume that hexes are bad things. So, some bits. Some more solstice emotes. I mean, I'm all on board for solstice emotes.
Yeah.
I got a nutcracker face.
What have I got?
Crack them nuts. I just this evening decided that I need to make a bûche de Noël.
Are you actually going to do that?
I'm real tempted. My friend Toshi's been talking about it. And I guess he's buying one, which is great for him, but...
So I got the dreidel, and I also got...
Did you make it out of clay?
Yes.
Excellent.
I assume this is meant to be some sort of a snowman thing, but it looks like a narwhal panda. Narwhal panda. I don't know what holiday that's
Hovering
meant to
over
be.
it. It's a snow wall. That's what
It's
the
a
name of
snowman
the
narwhal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a snow wall.
Just instead of the nose being in front of it, it's sticking
up
out
on the
of
top.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. I love it. All right. So, yeah, what we're going to do, this is the Defense Against the Dark Arts Harry Potter Hogwarts battle. So Andy bought this for me thinking it was an expansion to the game, to the deck builder that we have, the cooperative game.
Yeah.
Like the...
Monstrous Box of Monsters.
Yeah, the Monstrous Box of Monsters was. It is not. It specifically states on the outside, though, in very small text, this is a standalone game. You can play this without the base game. Because
and it's much more compact and simple.
Yeah, the idea behind this, though, the box also looks like a suitcase.
Yeah, it's not as...
The packaging is still very good.
If I can
The
move
board
this,
doesn't... Yeah,
it doesn't have
the board is
inside of the
just...
box on the back.
Yeah, the board is very plain. But the idea behind this is that you are in Dark Arts, Defense Against the Dark Arts class. And
learning to duel.
You are learning to duel. You are learning to defend yourselves. And it actually says, once you've done all the setup, you are now ready to learn how to defend yourself.
All right.
The instructions told us that. So gameplay gives us some information on ally cards. Ally cards have a house identifier on some cards. So cards that are students or who are associated very closely with a house have a house identifier. For game balance, not all allies are tagged with a house. The ally's name, an ability that is a recurring effect gained on each of your turns as long as the ally in play is on your side. And the allies are shuffled into the big deck.
Okay.
Item and spell cards have a card type, either an item or spell. Some effects mention those. Card name, card effect gained when you play the card, and house effect, an additional effect gained if you chose the indicated house card or have an ally in play with that house identifier.
Okay.
Interesting. So that it behooves you to diversify your allies.
Right. Okay.
And value the amount of influence you have to spend to obtain it.
Right.
Gameplay. On your turn, play the cards in your hand to generate effects. You resolve hex cards. So these are the hex cards. There are cards in the deck that instruct you to add a hex card.
Okay.
So, neither player will start with these, but they can be acquired by the effects of some Hogwarts cards. Simply take the top card from the hex deck and place it either in your hand or discard pile as directed. Hexes must always be resolved first on your turn when you have one or more in hand. If you draw a hex later during the turn, it must also be resolved immediately. So they hit you right away.
Okay.
They are the first thing that hits you.
They're like in flux. What are the
creepers.
Creepers.
Yeah.
That you have to resolve, right?
So the one that they have in here is, as an example, is Confundus. You cannot gain more than 1 power this turn.
Okay.
So it gives an effect that will affect the rest of your turn.
Okay.
Okay. Hexes cannot be discarded when you are directed to discard a card unless the directive states to discard a card at random.
Ah.
So you can't empty them out of your hand by doing discard mechanics. Additionally, a hex cannot be banished on the same turn it is resolved, since it is no longer in your hand and not yet in your discard pile. So this is banished. Okay. So I assume that's how you do
your deck.
Yeah, it's how you sculpt your deck. Play Hogwarts cards to generate effects. This is basically what we've done in the past, except when you play an ally, place the card in front of you. Ally cards generate effects that you may use on each of your turns. They are not, including the turn they are played, they are not discarded at the end of your turn. And there doesn't seem to be necessarily a... It doesn't say that you can only have like one.
So you can have multiple allies, yeah. It's like in DC Deck Builder there. What are they called? Locations.
Yeah.
That basically come out and stay on the board. In Ascension, I think they're artifacts.
Something like that.
That stay on the board. Yeah.
Anyway, how to apply attack and health. Slide your opponent's mover back 1 space towards the edge of the practice map for each power, discarding the tokens.
Okay.
So I'm basically pushing you back.
Yep. And if
until
you
you're
get pushed
stunned.
all the way, you get stunned.
Slide your mover forward 1 space towards the center of the practice map for each heart, discarding the tokens.
Yep.
So you may not advance past the start space.
Okay.
So there's a limit to how much you're moving back and forth. And use influence to acquire new cards.
I'm assuming that the goal of the game is to stun your opponent thrice?
3 times. Yep.
Okay.
The first person to get stunned 3 times loses. So.
All right. I think
I am very sorry to have to do this, but I need to make a bathroom run.
Oh, okay.
So could you mute me and stretch for time?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
I'll be back. I'm so sorry.
So while Amanda goes to use the facilities, I don't know. I was going to say that before we start, we should talk about the houses that we've chosen. I don't think it influences the game much, although Amanda did just say that there are cards that reference the house that you're playing or allies. That if you have an ally that's in a house or you're in a house, it can affect the game. I am playing Hufflepuff because I'm a Hufflepuff. We all know that. And Amanda is playing Ravenclaw because obviously she's into knowledge and books and such things. So that makes perfect sense. Shall we review the cards that are available? Amanda and I already looked at this. So oftentimes in deck builders, you'll have one card that is always available to be purchased. And the always available to be purchased card in this lineup costs 3 influence, and it is a book from the library. And you can, if you play a book, choose one of 2 options. Either gain 2 influence, which can be used to buy other cards, or draw a card and return your library book to the library. So card draw seems like it's going to be very expensive in this game. There could be advantages to drawing a card instead of getting 2 influence. You could be trying to get a specific card that you've put into your deck already. It's kind of rolling the dice, and you're pitching something that costs 3 influence, but maybe it's worth it. We will find out as we play. I'm going to wait until Amanda gets back to review the 4 cards that we currently have available in the lineup. So we won't do that quite yet. I guess. Hey chat, how's your week been? Because Amanda and I talked about how incredibly busy and exhausting our week has been. My week has been exhausting and busy because of PAX. Like we mentioned at the front of the stream, PAX Unplugged is going on right now in Philadelphia, and Battleground has a booth there, and a large percentage of our staff and regulars are all there participating in PAX. They are still on the show floor at this very instant. If you happen to be in the Philadelphia area and are participating in PAX Unplugged, I hope you'll visit the PAX booth, the Battleground booth, and say hello and check out some of the games. And I see Lobster of Revenge was busy this week, but got done early, so that's nice. So you get to participate in the stream. I imagine it's been busy. I haven't seen you in the last couple of streams. Oh, it's going to rain all weekend out there? I mean, rain is good, right? Maybe it prevents the entire state from burning? Maybe. We've had our first big snowfall of the year earlier this week, and it was not a very big snowfall. Like, everybody was like, oh, it's the biggest snowfall in like the beginning of December in a long time, and it was very underwhelming. Particularly for us, we're on the South Shore, and we got maybe an inch or two. It was not much of a snowfall, but it was the first snowfall of the season, so of course everybody panicked and nobody knows how to drive, and it was... Oh, today it was snowing earlier and it looked gorgeous. It was just enough to look pretty falling from the sky, very festive. It was delightful.
Snowing as I was coming back.
You're still muted, so. But yeah.
It was snowing when I got home from work, and I was like, oh, so pretty.
It was snowing when I hauled garbage out to the dumpster today, and it was
so festive, Andy.
so festive, but also slightly slippery. So Amanda, while you were gone,
okay, yeah, sorry about
we
that.
covered what the library books do.
Gotcha.
Because that's something that you already know because we talked about it before we started streaming.
Yes, okay.
But we have not reviewed the other cards that are available in our lineup.
All right, so we have Protego. Yes. Gain 1 influence and 1 health. You may banish a hex in your discard pile. If you do, you gain 2 power.
Okay.
Scourgify.
It doesn't do anything if you don't have a hex to banish?
I mean, you gain 1 influence and 1 heart.
Yeah.
But you may also use it to sculpt your deck,
Yeah, hexes.
Which is nice.
Very handy.
And you gain power for doing so, which is also very nice. Scourgify. You may banish a card from your discard pile. If it is a hex, gain 2 hearts. Quick Quotes Quill.
Okay.
This is an item. Gain 1 influence and gain 1 power for each ally you have in play. So that definitely means that you can have multiple allies out at a time.
Yeah.
It's not like one
for each ally
gets like replaces the other. And Priori Incantatem. Choose a spell you played this turn. You may copy the effects of that spell.
Amanda, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
How do we determine who goes first?
That's a really good question. Let me see. It doesn't say.
I do not think that I do have a Hufflepuff shirt.
You don't. You have a Hufflepuff apron.
This is true. Yes, I have an apron.
I gave it to him last year for Christmas.
But yes, good eye. Amanda is wearing a Ravenclaw shirt.
I am wearing a Ravenclaw Quidditch captain shirt. I've had this for quite some time. I'm wearing a thematic shirt for our game, and I am wearing my PAX Unplugged hoodie, because if I can't be at PAX Unplugged, I can at least feel like I'm there.
That's right, solidarity with the PAX Unplugged crew.
This does not say how to decide who goes first.
All right, then let's, here. I'm going to take a heart and put it in one of my hands.
Oh, okay.
And here, you choose.
Okay, then you go first.
I'll go first. All right.
I'm double checking to make sure. But it just says like how to end your turn. It doesn't say how to begin.
I'm going to assume.
It says some cards are color-coded and have a house crest in the upper left corner. Allies, items, and spells will be identified this way, but since ally cards work differently from items and spells, let's look at them first. At the start of the game, you choose a house. This choice allows you to gain the additional effects of the items and spells affiliated with your house. To gain the additional effects of other house-affiliated cards, you will need to acquire an ally identified with that house.
Yes.
Once you have an ally in play with a house identifier, you will have the aid of that house-affiliated ally. You will notice that item and spell cards with a house identifier have 2 effects. You always get the first effect. So even if you have like a card that's a Ravenclaw card and you don't have a Ravenclaw ally, you're going to get something off that card.
Okay.
It may not be as good as both of them, but you're going to get something. The additional effect listed is triggered when you play a card affiliated with your chosen house or have an ally with that house identifier. Banishing allows you to remove cards from the game. In most instances, banishing cards is an optional effect. Take a card from the directed location, hand, discard pile, or classroom, and place it face up next to the banished section of the practice mat.
Right.
This allows you to remove undesirable cards like hexes or weaker starting cards as you work to improve your dueling prowess.
So they talked about this in an article I read about the development of Hogwarts Battle, the original Harry Potter deck building game, is that one of the mechanics they did not include was deck sculpting.
Yeah, there's
which
no
allowed
way
you
to
remove stuff from your
winnow
deck.
out.
And they did introduce that with the Monstrous Box of Monsters, but it sounds like that's a key element of this game.
You want to get rid of those hexes. Ending your turn, after playing cards and taking actions including attacking your opponent or regaining lost health, do the following at the end of your turn. Place all item, spell, and hex cards in your discard pile.
Yep.
You cannot save these cards for your next turn, so you always play your whole hand. Leave all ally cards in play on your side. You can use these cards on each of your subsequent turns. Discard any unused tokens to the pool.
Okay.
So that's the same as the co-op game. And draw 5 new cards. Only shuffle your discard pile when you need to draw and your deck is empty.
Makes sense.
Which is
all
important.
Very familiar.
Yep. Stunning a player. If you can slide your opponent's marker into the stun space, you win this round. Your opponent takes a stun token and places it on an open space on their house card. You may still continue to play and acquire cards to finish your turn.
Shift my house card down a little bit so it's on stream. I don't know if you can see, but it's got 3 little stun locations here where we can place stuns.
To reset and prepare for the next round, each player shuffles all their cards in play. So allies. Their hand, deck, and discard pile to create fresh decks that includes all of the cards acquired in the previous rounds.
So allies go back into your deck at the end of the round.
They're only per round,
Okay.
and then you have to replay them.
Got it.
Both players return their movers to the start space. The player who was stunned chooses who goes first in the next round.
So you can choose either yourself or your opponent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Shall we?
All right. So
Let's do it.
I am playing first. I have my 5 cards in hand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play an ally. I have an owl.
Owl
Starting ally.
exterminators.
Once per turn, I may either save 1 influence on this ally or remove all saved influence and use it this turn. I also have Alohomora, gain 1 influence, so I'll get an influence. I have a Cauldron, gain an influence or gain life. I don't need life because I haven't been knocked back, so I'll get another influence. And I have 2 more Alohomoras, so 2 more influence. I have 4 influence. I'm going to bank 1 on my owl. And then I'm going to spend 3 to get this Quick Quotes Quill. And that goes in my discard. And I draw 5 cards.
Yes, you do.
And it is your turn.
All right.
Wait. Refill the line.
Refill the
This
lineup.
is important. Do we refill at the end of the turn, or do we refill when we buy something?
It actually did say something about that, so hold on.
Because this is something that comes up frequently in deck building games. Sometimes you're refilling the line as you play. Some deck building games have the ability to pay influence or whatever to reset.
Immediately replace the acquired card with the top card from the Hogwarts deck. That means a player can spend some of their influence to acquire a card, see what new card becomes available, and continue to acquire cards.
Glad I asked.
Book cards cannot be banished. They are always returned to the library.
Good. I don't want people banishing books they borrowed from the library.
Hey, sometimes you gotta weed, man.
All right, we've got a new card. It is Landglock, a spell. Costs 6 to buy, so it's expensive.
Pricey.
Opponent puts a hex in their discard pile, and you draw a card.
Ooh.
All right, Amanda.
Nasty.
It is your turn.
All right, I also have an owl.
Oh, we both. So we didn't mention this because we did this before we started playing. But when you start the game, you have 3 potential allies to put into your deck, and you choose. We chose not to tell each other what ally we were putting in our deck, but it sort of influences how you're going to be building your deck slightly. Your options are the owl, which both Amanda and I apparently decided was the most fun to do.
Yep.
A toad, and the toad allows you to gain 1 life whenever you.
I figured you would
once
assume
per
I was
turn.
taking the cat.
I did kind of assume you were going to take the cat. The cat is once per turn. If you have played at least 3 spells, gain 1 extra, gain an attack, which seems good.
Yeah, it seems strong, but I like the idea of being
Play
able to
spells and your cat attacks.
All right.
But we both chose the owl.
Yeah, we did, and I have 4 Alohamoras in my opening hand.
Wow.
So
all right.
I have 4 influence to spend.
You could bank 1 and buy a book, or you could buy one of those 4 influence spells that are in the lineup. Is there a refresh the lineup mechanic?
No,
Okay.
not that I can see. Oof. I'm going to take Priori Incantatem. Choose a spell you played this turn and copy the effects.
Don't forget to refresh.
And we have a Quick Quote Squill.
I already have one of those.
I know. All right.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Well, I have 4 Alohomora, so 4 influence. Obviously, the first couple of rounds are going to be, or the first couple of
pretty
hands are going to
simplistic.
be like that.
Yeah.
And I have a wand.
Yeah.
I gain 1 attack, and Amanda,
Yeah.
kapow! I hit you.
Yeah, I figured that was
Expulso.
going to happen.
And I have 4 influence to spend. I'm going to get, let's see, this one is gain an influence and a heart, and you may banish a hex in your discard pile. Gain 2 attack if you do. And this one is, you may banish a card from your discard pile, any card. If it is a hex, you gain 2 life.
It's nice.
I think I'm going to buy this one for 4 influence. Oh, I didn't bank anything on my owl. That's all right. So that spends 4. All right.
All right.
That is my turn. I have to shuffle my deck and draw 5 cards. Give me a couple of seconds to do that.
Also, we have now added Petrificus Totalis.
Ah.
Choose 1. Gain 1 power, or choose one of your opponent's allies in play and discard that ally.
Ooh.
And
Interesting.
it only costs 2.
Yeah, it's inexpensive, and it allows you to discard an opponent's ally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't banish it, it just discards
No, discards it. So it puts it in the discard pile, and they could
Yep.
potentially draw it later in the round.
Exactly. All right. So I have 3 Alohamoras, a wand, which you had to know was coming because I didn't have it
Yep.
first round. So I'll hit you with that.
Kazap!
And a cauldron, so I could gain a 4th influence, or I could gain a heart.
Ah.
So that worked out pretty well for me, and I have 3 influence. I'm going to use that to buy Petrificus Totalis.
And bank 1 on your owl.
And bank 1 on my owl.
Okay. Well, she got the Petrificus Totalis, but now we have...
I'm guessing there are more of them.
Available to purchase, Neville Longbottom.
Ah, Neville!
He is an ally with no affiliation. That's interesting. You'd think he'd be a Gryffindor.
It did say that for game balance, not every ally has a house affiliation.
Okay.
So...
Neville Longbottom, when he is out on the board on your side, once per turn, if you played an item, gain 1 health and 1 influence.
Nice, nice. That's a very Neville thing.
Neville. He is available to join your team. Let's see what I've got in my hand. Well, I've got a Quick Quotes Quill. I gain 1 influence, and for each ally I have in play, I gain 1 attack.
Nice.
Man, I'm going to spend that attack to push you back again.
I figured you would.
I have Protego. Gain 1 influence and 1 health. I'm going to spend that health to move back to the start. I have 3 Alohomora, which gets me 3 more influence. So I have 5 influence total. I'm going to hire Neville. Well, I'm going to put Neville in my discard.
Yeah, you're going to make friends with Neville.
And I'm going to bank 1.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Minerva McGonagall has come out.
Oh.
She costs 7. Once per turn, gain 1 power and 2 influence. She is... My goodness. She is obviously going to be Gryffindor affiliated.
Yes, she is Gryffindor affiliated.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel this is odd. Hang on. Oh, no, it's because I played my owl. I was like, why did I not get more cards?
It's because we have allies.
Yep.
All right. Petrificus Totalis.
Oh, right off the bat.
Yeah, well, you don't have an ally out.
I have my owl.
Oh, you have your owl out.
And it's got 2 things banked on it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Oh, I lose my 2 influence. My owl goes into my discard.
I have a cauldron.
Okay.
So I'm going to push myself back up to the starting line.
Yeah.
And I have 3 Alohomora, and I am going to grab a Quick Quotes Quill.
The cauldron gets you life and...
No.
Or. Okay.
It's an or.
Okay.
I was very specific about that.
So you got the Quick Quotes Quill.
I did.
And... Bombarda. Gain an attack. You may banish a card from the classroom. So that's a way to get something out of the lineup. Okay. My go. So I have my wand. Zap.
Oh, no.
There. I have a cauldron. I don't need any health, so I will take the influence. And I have 3 Alohomora. 1, 2, 3. So I have 4 influence.
See, I'm not using the tokens because they're over by Andy.
Yeah, I can move them to the center.
It's just, I can't reach them, Andy.
No, that's fair.
You put everything near you.
I do like that the Harry Potter games have the tokens.
Yeah.
They're a convenient way to keep track of stuff.
They're a good
But
shorthand.
we're used to playing games where you don't really need, you just count. Anyways, I have 4 influence. So I could get that Bombarda. Or I could get this.
Scourgify.
Scourgify. Guess I'll take the Scourgify.
Yeah.
Or I could get a book.
Yeah.
I'm going to try getting a book. Let's see how that influences things.
Sure.
So I draw 1, and I have to draw 4 more. So shuffle, 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 shuffle. You may go while I'm shuffling.
Neat.
If you have anything that influences my hand, you just have to wait until I draw.
I don't. I have 4 Alohamoras and a Priori Incantatum, so 5 Alohamoras,
Okay.
basically.
What does the Priori Incantatum
Choose
do?
a spell you played this turn, you may copy the effects.
Ah.
So I happened to play it on a
It's a
hand
clay
that
face.
was
Okay.
all Alohamoras. So I have 5 influence right now. I'm going to grab Bombarda for 2, so that leaves me 3.
All right, and immediately reset the line.
And it's a Scourgify, so
Costs
I'm
4.
going to go ahead
Get a book.
and get a book.
Okay. Awesome.
Draw 1. Shuffle.
All right. Do you mind if I play while you shuffle?
Go for it.
I am going to put Neville Longbottom out.
Ah, Neville.
Once per turn, if you played an item, gain an influence and a heart. I'm going to play my owl. So now I have my owl again. I'm going to play 2 Alohomora, which gets me 2 influence. And I'm going to play Protego. Gain an influence and a heart. I may banish a hex in my discard pile. I don't have anything in my discard pile, and I don't have any hexes yet. So I get an influence and a heart. I have not been pushed back at all, so I have 3 influence. I can't afford anything except a second book. So I'm going to spend those 3 for another book, put it in my discard, draw 5, and you may go.
Okay. So I have Bombarda, and the power. I can banish a card from the classroom. I'm going to get rid of one of those Scourgifys. Get something more interesting on there. Ah, another Petrificus Totalis.
Uh-oh.
I have a wand, so that's another power. And then I have 3 Alohamoras, so that's 3 of these. I'm going to spend both of these on Andy.
Pushed me back twice.
I'm going to bank one of those and spend 2 for another Petrificus Totalis.
Oh dear. Okay. Things are getting real now. Refill the line.
Yep.
Now we have Rictum Sempra.
You like this game? Usually you have a hard time following deck building games on stream, but you can mostly tell what's going on today.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward game.
This one is not a super complex one.
Ricta Sempra is gain 1 attack, and if you discard this, gain 1 life. We don't have anything yet that lets us discard stuff, but that is, and it only costs 2. So, okay. All right. Alohomora, I gain an influence.
Okay.
Cauldron, gain an influence or gain a heart. I'm going to gain a heart and then gain an influence and a heart from Neville.
Nice.
I have my books. I could either gain 2 influence or discard this, or return this to the library to draw a card. I'm going to just get the 2 influence. So I get 2 influence. Quick Quotes Quill, I gain an influence and 1 attack for each ally. I have 2 allies.
Oh no.
And then an
Oh, dear.
Alohomora for 1 more influence. All right, so Zap Zap.
Oh no.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm going to take the Landglock. And then all of this goes in my discard.
And what has come out is a potions kit. Gain 1 power, 1 influence, and 1 heart.
Sounds helpful.
Yeah.
Costs 5. I need to draw 1 more card, so I discard. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. You may go.
Okay. So I have Alohomora, Alohomora.
Okay.
Books. Gain 2 or draw a card and return this card to the library. I'm going to gain 2. Books. And Cauldron. I'm going to gain 1 from that. And then Priori Incantatum. I can copy a... actually, I'm going to gain the heart off the Cauldron. And then Priori Incantatum lets me play...
Copy one of your spells.
Yeah, one of my spells. So I'm going to copy Alohomora again. So that's 5.
And 1
7.
from your bank. Yep.
2 from my bank.
Oh, you had 2 on the bird.
I did.
Oh, man.
McGonagall.
While you draw, we have Expecto Patronum. Gain 2 influence and 1 health. You may banish a hex from your discard pile. If you do, draw 2 cards. That costs 5. All right, my go. So I have 3 Alohomora for 3 influence. Bip, bip, bip. I have a wand for 1 attack. I'm just going to use that right now. Push you back 1.
Oh, man.
And I have Protego. Gain a... Oh, the wand is an item, so I can use Neville's ability. Gain an influence and a life. And Protego is gain an influence and a life. I may banish a hex, which I have none. So another influence. That gives me 5 influence total. I'm gonna bank. All right, so this is where things get tough for me. Amanda's got 2 Petrificus Totalis.
Yep.
Petrificus
Totalis.
Which means if I bank something on my owl, there's a strong chance that I'm going to just lose that bank. McGonagall's not out there anymore, so I'm not trying to get up to 7. I think I'm just going to spend my 5. I'm going to get Expecto Patronum. Spend 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll refill the line. Ah, Ricta Sempra. Gain an attack. If you discard this, gain a life. So there's 2 Ricta Sempras in the lineup now. They're inexpensive. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is your go.
All right. Oh.
We've not gotten any hexes yet.
Alohomora, Alohomora. Quick quotes. Quill.
Okay.
Petrificus Totalis.
Neville or my owl?
Neville.
Yeah, kind of figured.
Yeah.
He's been helping me a lot.
Yeah, he has. And Priori Incantatum. I can choose a spell and play it again.
So you could get my owl this turn.
I could. Or I could gain 1 power. Because that's the other thing that Petrificus Totalis can do. You may keep your owl.
Okay.
And move back 2 spaces.
Ouch. Bip, bip.
And I'm going to spend my 3 on a... Ooh. I'm going to get some books.
Get a book from the library. Awesome.
I'm taking a look, and it's in a book.
Okay. All right, Amanda.
Yeah.
Langlock.
Oh, no.
You put a hex in your discard and draw a card.
Conjunctivitis. I can only play 2 spells this turn. Ick. What do I do next? What am I doing now?
I draw a card.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to play a book. I'll get 2 influence from that book. I'll play another book, and I'll get 2 influence from that book. I'll play my Quick Quotes Quill, gain 1 influence and 1 attack for each ally. I only have 1 ally, so I'll push you back 1 more. Get an influence. I have my Cauldron, gain an influence or gain a life. I think, how much influence do I have? I have 5 so far. I'll get an influence. And then Alohomora for 1 more influence. I've got a lot of influence to spend.
Yeah, you do.
2, 4, 6, 7. So I'm going to get, what's this one? Scourgify. Yeah, I'm going to get this Scourgify, which costs 4. Refill the line. And it's a Petrificus Totalis. I'll buy that for 2.
I was trying to get them all.
And refill the line. I have 1 influence left. Revelio. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it has a value of 4 influence or more, draw that card. Otherwise, gain 2 influence. And it costs 2. That's actually an interesting card. And I'm just going to bank my last influence on my owl and draw a new hand. 3. So our decks are beginning to take form.
Yeah. All right. So I have 3 Alohomoras. So specifically that Hex went into my discard pile, which means it doesn't affect me now. It's going to affect me later.
Right.
Which is annoying.
Unless you have a way to get rid of it before
I haven't
then.
bought, so. Books. And 2 more. And a Cauldron. I'm going to gain some health off of that. And spend 5 for potion. Actually, I'm going to grab 2.
Well,
grab one of these.
1. Yep, refill.
Bombarda. I'm going to grab another one of those. Flitwick.
Ah, Flitwick is
And I'm going to bank 1 on there because I don't have anything else to use it on.
is a Ravenclaw.
Yes, he is. So you want Flitwick.
I do. I want to expand my ally abilities. All right. I have 4 Alohomora. Not a thrilling hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 influence. And I have a book. I'll gain 2 influence.
Does it come with batteries?
It does. Don't understand. So I'm going to spend 5 influence to get the potions kit, I guess? No, I'm going to get this Revelio. Costs 2. And that reveals Obliviate. Gain 2 influence and opponent discards a non-hex card. And if you are Ravenclaw, gain 1 attack.
Nice.
I can't afford it because I only have 4 influence left. So I'm going to spend 2 influence. No, I'm going to spend 3 influence and get another book. And then I'm going to bank 1 on my owl. And that is my turn. Amanda, it is your turn.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to play a wand and gain an attack power. I'm going to play Bombarda, gain an attack power, and I can banish something from the lineup. I'm going to hold that for a moment. I have an Alohomora, gain an influence, and a Petrificus Totalis.
Dang. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Oh, you're taking the attack instead. Oh. McGonagall. What'd she do?
She gives me 2 influence and a power.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
taking a beating this turn.
She's a lot, is what she is. So let's see. I have 3 influence.
Is that once per turn you get 2 influence and
Yeah.
a power? Wow.
I mean, I know what you're going to be getting rid of with
If I can.
your Petrificus Totalis.
Yeah.
So I have 4 attack.
Yeah.
So I am going to be pushing you back 4.
Ouch. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And much as I love Phileas Flitwick, I don't want you to have him.
So you're banishing him?
Uh-huh. Dang. And Hermione Granger has come out.
Ooh. Hermione.
Hermione.
Okay.
And her ability is once per turn, if you played at least 3 spells, you draw a card.
Sounds very Hermione.
It's very knowledge-based.
Yep. And
She's a Gryffindor.
a Gryffindor. So
Yep.
Go Gryffindor.
And I am going to bank an influence and spend 2 on another Bombarda.
Okay. All right, I'm hurting now.
And then I'm going to draw 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gotta shuffle.
Okay. Do you mind if I play while you shuffle?
Go for it.
Okay.
If you play something that has to do with my hand, you'll just have to wait for me to draw.
Yeah. I'm gonna play a Scourgify and banish an Alohomora. I'm gonna start thinning my deck. I'm going to play Petrificus Totalis
Of course you are.
and McGonagall.
Yeah, I figured.
Straight to your discard.
Fortunately, you do get those effects when you play them,
I'm
so...
gonna play an Alohomora, so I get 1.
Oh,
Oh, thanks.
it is a Mandrake. It is a Hufflepuff card. Gain 1 power and 1 heart, and if you are Hufflepuff, gain 2 influence as well.
It's pretty sweet.
That is pretty
Costs
sweet.
4.
Costs 4, yeah.
Langlock. Put a hex in your discard pile, and I draw a card.
Jellybrain Jinx. Banish the top card of my deck, then banish this hex. Ow!
Wow.
But it gets banished when it hits,
Yeah.
so...
I'm going to play a wand, doing 1 damage to you. I have a book. I am going to draw a card off my book.
Oh, then the book goes back to the library.
Yes, you're right. Send that book to the library. And
It
the
was
card
due.
I drew is an Alohomora. Great. I have 4 influence available. I'm going to get that Mandrake.
Yeah, I thought you would. That's a good card, especially for you, because you don't have to worry about an ally disappearing.
So all that goes in there. I get my new hand. But I did not heal it all that round, so I think this may be the end of the
This round.
round.
Yeah.
I didn't heal that hand.
So...
refill
Oh, yeah,
the line.
yeah. We have Diffindo. This is a Hufflepuff spell. You may banish a card from your hand or discard pile. Gain 1 influence and 1 heart if you are also a Hufflepuff. So I'm going to play an Alohomora,
Okay.
a Bombarda,
Yep.
and I can banish something from the classroom. I'm going to hold off on that until I'm going to play a Cauldron and gain 1 influence. I'm going to play Rictum Sempra and gain 1 power. And Books, gain 2 influence. I'm going to spend these to stun you, but that does not immediately end my turn. I can still gain cards and stuff.
I am stunned.
So yeah, you are stunned. And I have 6 available to me. I'm not going to bother banishing anything because this is the end of the round, so you don't get another turn on this. Actually, the classroom stays the same.
So what happens when I'm stunned?
If you can slide your opponent's marker onto the stun space, you win this round. Your opponent takes a stun token and places it on an open space on their house card. You may still continue to play and acquire cards to finish your turn.
Yes.
To reset and prepare for the next round, each player shuffles all their cards in play, allies, hand, deck, and discard pile, to create fresh decks that includes all of the cards acquired in the previous rounds. Both players return their movers to the start space on their side of the practice mat and draw a hand of 5 cards. The player who was stunned chooses who goes first the next round. So this lineup stays the same.
Okay. So you do have the chance to exile something. Yes.
Stunned him just as he was waking up. Vroom.
Beautiful plumage.
This parrot couldn't vroom.
Put 4,000
4,000
volts through
into it. So I'm going to spend my... I need deck sculpting. So I'm going to spend 5 on Diffindo.
Are you exiling anything? Oh, refill
I don't
the
get
line.
to. I don't get to exile when I take it. It's when I play it.
I thought you played something.
I could exile something from the lineup.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want you having that other Mandrake. Yeah, tough for that.
Okay.
All right.
So now we both... Oops.
I lose that token.
We've got another Defendo that just showed up. And now we both shuffle our decks and draw new hands.
Yeah.
And I get to decide who goes first this round.
Yep.
We both go back to the center. I feel like I want to go first.
Okay.
I will admit this is taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take.
Because there's a lot of back and forth.
There is a lot of back and forth.
And it's 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It wasn't to first stun. It's,
I thought it was going to be a much faster game than it is, but I like that it's not, because that gives you time to do a little bit of deck sculpting.
Yeah.
And make your deck actually work on one particular level.
Right.
One disadvantage to both of us is we have not looked through all the cards in there, so we don't know what all the abilities are. 2, 3, 4, 5. You have your hand?
I have my hand.
Okay. And none of them are hexes?
None of them are hexes.
Okay.
Though it wouldn't matter because it's your turn.
Okay.
It's not when I draw it. It's on my turn. I have to resolve hexes first.
Well, I'm going to put Neville out. He's back. I'm going to play a Mandrake. I gain an attack and a heart, which doesn't help me, and gain 2 influence because I'm a Hufflepuff. Oops, I took an influence instead of an attack. And then Neville is going to get me a life and an influence. Protego, I gain a influence and a life. Why didn't I get all this stuff at the end of last round? I wouldn't have been stunned. I may banish a hex in my discard. I don't have one, so that's fine. Quick Quotes Quill. I gain 1 attack for each ally. And 1 influence. And Petrificus Totalis. You have no allies,
so you're going to get an attack.
I'm going to get an attack.
Man, I'm getting blasted right out of the gate.
1, 2, 3. And then I've got 5 available. No owl. So I could get the potions kit, which gets me an attack, an influence, and a life. It's a lot of nice stuff.
Diffindo's deck sculpting.
Yeah, Diffindo's deck sculpting. From your hand or discard pile, and it does not say anything about hexes. But hexes happen first, right? Hexes happen before
But it might be in your discard pile.
Yeah.
So...
And it's a Hufflepuff card.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy that.
Okay.
So we'll put that in there.
Yeah, I wanted
It
it.
costs 5.
Aguamenti. Gain 2 influence and 1 heart is the next card that's come out.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Aloha Mora.
Okay.
Books. Aloha Mora.
Okay.
Gain 1 power.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a chance to discard anything, so I don't get any health. And choose 1 Petrificus Totalis. Gain a power or choose one of your opponent's allies in play. They discard that ally. Yeah, I don't want you having Neville out.
All right.
He's
Neville
too
goes
powerful.
to the grave. Or to the discard.
So I'm going to hit you with 1.
Yep.
And I have 4 to spend. I'm going to grab Aguamenti.
Okay. My go. I've got 2 Alohomora, so that's 2 influence. I've got my owl. I've got a cauldron, gain an influence or gain a life. I'll take the influence. And Revelio. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it has a value of 4 or more, draw it. Otherwise, gain 2. It is Scourgify. So I draw it. And then I can play it. I may banish a card from my discard pile. If it is a hex, I gain 2 life. I'm going to... No, I don't have any Alohomoras in my discard pile. There's nothing in my discard pile I want to banish.
Oh.
So that Scourgify fizzles. Ooh, we need
And then
something
you have to be
more in
happy
the
about it.
lineup.
Cho.
Oh, Cho-Chan.
What? Chang.
Chang.
And once per turn, draw a card, then discard any 1 card.
But she costs 6, and I only have 3. So a library book it is for me.
Library books, by the way, are a finite resource.
Yeah, apparently so. I'm going to be putting some back in the library, though. I need to
All
return
right.
some of my library books.
So,
2,
unfortunately
3,
for
4,
me,
5.
I have a hex in my hand.
Aha!
I have to banish the top card of my deck
Oh, man.
and then banish this hex. So, top card of my deck is an Aloha Mora. That's fine. And then that gets banished.
Yeah, let's just keep these separate.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep
Okay.
hexes separate. Thank God that was that, because
You could have
that's
banished
fine.
the other hex that's in your deck.
God, wouldn't that have been awesome? If only. Thank goodness I had Minerva in my hand, so there was no risk of her getting banished.
Uh-oh.
Whew.
So she gets you what?
1 of these, 2 of these.
Wow.
And a Quick Quotes Quill gains me 1 of these, and 1 of these for each ally.
Yep.
Bombarda gets me 1 of these, and I can banish a card from the classroom if I would so choose.
Thinking
I'm gonna
hard.
banish Cho.
Oh.
Basically, all of my I'm getting rid of all of my Ravenclaw friends. I'm just telling them, guys,
Don't
don't
join
want to be
him.
friends with him.
Yeah.
And then I have another Aloha Mora.
So I'm taking 3 damage.
I'm taking 3.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Hey, I took 3 first turn.
Yeah, it's true.
So. And I have 4 to spend. Ooh,
Wow.
this is Impedimenta. Opponent discards a non-hex card and puts a hex card in their discard pile. So I have 4 to spend. I'm going to grab some books.
Okay. You have another book. My go?
Your go.
Okay. Langlock. Put a hex in your discard pile and draw a card. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of hexes in your deck.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, sir. Alohomora, I gain 1 influence. my wand, I gain 1 attack. I'm going to return a book to the library to draw a card. Oh, did I draw a card from my...
I don't know, did you?
No, I didn't draw a card from my Langlock. I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, it's an Alahomora. I gain a card, thing. I draw a card for returning a library book. Alahomora, I gain another influence. I'll return another library book to draw another card. Expecto Patronum. Gain 2 influence and 1 life. I may banish a hex from my discard pile, but I don't have any. So I gain 2 influence and 1 life. I'm going to use that immediately to push myself up 1. Amanda, I'm going to attack you 1. Bap. And I have 5 influence to spend. Not enough to hire Hermione. I'm going to get Obliviate, which is gain 2 influence and opponent discards a non-hex card. Actually, yeah, I want to keep that away from you because it's a Ravenclaw card. So that goes in my discard. These go in my discard.
Cedric Diggory is out.
Oh.
Once per turn, if you gained health, gain power and another health.
Pretty sweet.
He's your buddy.
He is your buddy. Played by Batman.
Yeah. All right. Alohomora. Alohomora.
Okay.
That's 2 of those. Diffindo. I may banish a card from my hand or discard pile.
Yeah.
Banish it.
Do you get something for banishing a...
No, I don't.
A hex? Okay.
If I had a Hufflepuff ally, I would gain an influence and health. But I don't, so I'm not. And a Cauldron. Oh, I have to get my Minerva.
Oh, right.
2 influence and a power.
Oh, man, she's
so good.
Wow.
And Petrificus Totalis. So I can choose one. I can gain a power, or I can discard your ally. I'm going to gain a power.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend both of those.
Bip, bip. I'm getting pushed back quite a bit now.
And I've got 4. That doesn't get me much. At this point, I'm going to grab some books. I got that Trip Jinx out of my deck.
Yeah.
I have 1 other Jinx in my deck. So...
All right.
it's probably in this hand.
Nope, I'm not doing that in that order. I'm doing this in this order. First, I'm going to put Neville Longbottom out. I gain... no, if I play a item, I gain an influence and a life. I'm going to play the Mandrake, which gets me an attack and a life. And Neville gives me an influence and a life. And then an Alahomora gets me an influence. Let's try this Revealio thing again.
Oh, yeah.
Reveal the top card of your deck.
What card will it show us? Hey, you get it.
Protego. I get it, and I get to play it. So, actually, sorry, all of these are not in my discard
Yeah,
yet.
they're played
In
right
play.
now, yeah.
I gain an influence and a life from Protego. I may banish a hex, but I have none. And Petrificus Totalis.
Oh.
Minerva.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, so I do 1 damage to you. I heal myself for 3.
Nice.
And I have 3 influence.
You can get books. These are all pricey cards.
I'm going to bank 1 and then just waste those 2.
Okay.
All right, your go.
Okie dokie. Wand. Alohomora. Bombarda.
Yeah.
And I'm going to banish Hermione.
Banish
So,
her.
you getting her.
Yep.
It's a Slytherin spell, Relatio. Gain 1 power and an opponent discards a non-hex card. If you have a Slytherin ally or are Slytherin, your opponent puts a hex in their hand.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Neither
that's
of
a
us are
Slytherin thing to do.
Yeah. And Prairie Incantatum. So I'm going to redo Bombarda.
Youch.
Another one of those.
Yep.
And I am going to, let's see. I'm going to get that. Get that out of there. I don't want that in there.
Okay.
Fizzing Whizbees. Gain 2 power and 2 hearts. Draw a card. Cost 7, as well it should for something like that.
Yeah.
And books. So I could gain 2 influence.
Or you could draw a card.
Or I could draw a
return your
card
library
and
book.
return my library books. I'm going to return my library books.
Okay.
And draw a card. It is my hex.
Uh-oh.
So here's the thing. And this is what I was kind of hoping would happen.
Oh.
I've already played all my spells.
Yeah.
And gotten their effects.
Yeah.
But this says I can only play 2 spells this turn.
Ah. So that hex doesn't really hex you at all.
No.
Yep.
But it stays in my deck. It does not
Yeah.
get banished, which a lot of the other hexes do. As soon as
Yeah.
they go off, they disappear. I'm going to hit you for 3.
1, 2, 3?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
And lose that. I only
Okay.
had 1, so those go in my discard.
Whew.
Draw 2.
You definitely get the feeling that your deck is getting more powerful and turns can be a
Yeah.
lot more
Effective.
interesting. Yeah. Like you knocked me almost all the way back. We're both
Yeah.
near the end of the board now.
I don't know if I'm going to make it through this next turn.
I'm enjoying this. All right, do you mind if I go while you're
Go
shuffling? Okay. Scourgify. I may banish a card from my discard pile. I'm going to
Nice.
banish an Alohomora.
Okay.
Do a little bit more sculpting. Alohomora, I get an influence. Wand, I get an attack.
Oh no.
And Neville gives me 1 life and 1 influence. Expecto Patronum, gain 2 influence and 1 life. I'll use my life. And Quick Quotes Quill. I have 2 allies, so I get 2 attack.
Yee. Yeah, I'm not making
and
it
an
through this turn.
influence. All right, so Amanda, I'm going to hit you thrice.
I am stunned.
Okay, here's a stun token.
Thank you.
And I have 5, 6 influence available.
Oh dear.
I guess I'll get Cedric. Yeah, I'm going to hire Cedric. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 from my owl. Cedric goes in my discard. And then Clean Cup.
Yep. New card is Albus Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Once per turn, gain 1 power, 1 influence, 1 heart, and draw a card.
He costs 9.
Yeah, he is pricey. He is a pricey boy.
And he is unaffiliated.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense for
Yeah, that
Dumbledore.
makes sense.
My deck is big enough that I can actually shuffle it now.
Yeah.
Still not like a massive deck, but it is feeling more deck-like. Why don't you move yourself back to the start?
I will.
Oh, okay.
I also like that the flavor of this is that it's dueling club.
Yeah.
That this isn't
we're
this
not
is defense
actually
against the dark arts.
attacking
We are
each other.
learning how to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
So if I was playing this with, say, kids at work, they're not actually attacking each other. They are practicing
Yep.
to make sure that they can defend against an actual attack.
Yep.
Because sometimes when you play games like this with kids, they will feel like they are really being attacked by their opponent, that their opponent is being mean by attacking them, even if that's the point of the game. So it gives you an out to an extent.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like it. Eek, okay.
Amanda, you get to choose who goes first this round.
I'm going to go
Probably
first.
have thought about that before you drew your hand, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's
I don't
mine.
care.
I'm
Okay.
going first.
You go first.
All right. Aguamenti. 2 influence and a heart. Petrificus totalis. There's no one for me to petrify.
So you get an attack.
Yep. Rictum sempra. Attack. And 2 Alohamoras. So I'm going to attack you twice.
Yep. Bip bip.
And I'm going to spend my influence on some books.
Okay.
It was
My
not
go.
the most exciting of opening hands.
No. I'm going to get an owl. There's an owl. Which does nothing whatsoever for me right now. Alohomora, I get an influence.
Interesting.
Langlock. Put a hex in your discard pile. And I draw a card.
Sectum Sempra. I cannot gain more than 1 heart this turn if I have that in my hand.
Mandrake. I gain a attack and a life. I'm going to spend that life right now. Defendo. Defendo.
Defendo. Defendo?
I may banish a card from my hand or discard pile. I'm going to banish a card from my hand. I'm going to banish an Alohomora.
Get rid of it.
And, as I am a Hufflepuff, I get an influence and a life. Influence. Life. I have 1 attack. Zap. And 2 influence. That gets me nothing.
Gets
I
you
banked
nothing.
1. Well, I did a little bit of deck sculpting there.
So, I have a hex in my hand.
Uh-oh.
I can only play 2 spells this turn.
4, 5.
Here's the thing.
Haha.
I only have 1 spell in my hand.
Oh, that
So-
hex is not helping me a great deal.
Because I have 2 allies in my hand
So you have an owl and,
and an
McGonagall
item.
and an item.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that did very little to hinder me today. So I gain 1, 2, 1 from McGonagall, 2 influence from McGonagall.
Yeah.
And I can banish a card from the classroom.
Do you think I'm going to get 9 influence?
I think you could.
You get Albus?
Yeah, I think he needs to
Or you
go.
could banish the 7.
No, because that's a one-time on your turn thing. So
It doesn't
I'm
just
not,
stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guess who's out? It's Harry Potter. Once per turn, if you played at least 3 spells, gain 2 power. So I'm gonna hit you with those.
It's 2?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3.
And I only had 2 influence, so those are gonna go there.
You
Those-
could put 1 on your owl.
Oh yeah, I'll put 1 on my owl.
I don't know why I'm helping you, but just saying.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
Well, you've
got-
put so many hexes in my deck.
It's true, I have. All right. Petrificus totalis.
Ugh.
McGonagall again.
Bye, Professor.
Gonna. Neville Longbottom. Book. I'm gonna return it to the library. Draw a card. Neville gives me a life and an influence. Cedric Diggory. Once per turn, if I earned any life, I gain an influence and another life. Or I gain an attack and another life. So I get that and another life.
Man.
Actually, I should have done that. Do you mind if I just... No, Cedric is the one I drew, so I don't get that because I gained the life. I gained the life from
Yeah.
Neville before I had Cedric on the board.
Right. So you don't. It happened.
Yeah.
The stack says you don't get that.
Yeah, that's fair. I may banish a card from my discard pile with my Scourgify. I'm going to banish an Alahomora. And Revelio.
Nope.
Nothing. I have a quick Quotes Quill on top of my deck. So I gain 2 influence from the Revelio. So including my owl,
You have 4.
I have 4 influence available.
I would leave that one on your owl and spend the 3, or bank 1 and dump.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Though you're probably going to knock my owl out. I don't know, maybe you'll knock Diggory out or
You don't know what I have in my
Neville.
hand.
I do not.
Guess what? It's not a Petrificus Totalis, I'll tell you that. Because I drew all my Alohomoras. Yeah. So that's 4 Alohomoras. And some books.
You could get 2 influence or you could draw a card.
So that's 4. So I could have 7, and that would get me anything on the lineup. If I got 2.
Oh, right, because you've got 1 banked on your owl.
Yeah. I could get Harry.
Harry Potter.
I'm going to get 2 influence off of that.
Okay.
And that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Fizzing Whizbees.
Oof. Sounds tough for me.
All right.
My go?
Yep.
Okay, so some stuff is going to happen now. Wand. I gain an attack.
Okay.
Neville heals me, and I gain an influence. Cedric, because I gained health, I gain an attack, and I heal 1.
Man. That's a good engine.
Alahomora, I get an influence. Cauldron, I gain an influence or a health. Take the influence. Obliviate, gain 2 influence. An opponent discards a non-hex card. Discarded a book. Okay.
Yep.
And Quick Quotes Quill. 1 attack for each ally.
Ick.
Boop, boop, boop.
Ick.
So I do 5 damage to you. Not enough to stun you in 1 turn.
That's
But,
gross.
yeah.
Yeah, you've got a really good engine
And
there.
I gain... Yeah, that Quick Quotes Quill with all the allies I've got in my
Yeah.
deck. And I've done a bunch of sculpting, so I don't have very many Alahomora
I
left.
have not been able to sculpt
Yeah.
anything. So
I
the
have
cards have not
2,
been out
4,
for me to sculpt
6.
with. Oh.
Thank you.
Accio. Choose 1, gain 2 influence, or search the discard pile for an item and put it in your hand.
I think I am building an ally deck, so I'm going to spend 6 for Harry.
Another Accio. I did extensively shuffle this deck.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's the end of my turn. That's
Okay.
all I can do. 4, I have to shuffle and draw a card. But you can go ahead while I'm doing
Okay. Bombarda. I haven't decided what I'm going to get rid of. Rictum Sempra. Please. Cauldron.
it. Yeah.
And Priori Incantatum, I'm going to do another Rictum Sempra. That, and I can get something off the board if I want. I don't like that. Flipendo, gain 3 power and draw a card. Cost
3
8.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's power.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to attack you 3 times.
Yep.
And I have a feeling
Boop,
I will
boop,
not
boop.
last through the next turn.
Well, I have good news for you. I have no attack in my hand.
Oh.
Alohomora. Alohomora. I get to influence. Protego. Gain an influence and an attack.
Well,
And a life. Because I gained a life, I gain an attack and another life.
such a good engine.
Expecto Patronum. Gain 2 influence and a life. And Langlock throws another hex in there, and I draw a card.
Another
Alohomora.
conjunctivitis.
All right, so I'm going to heal 3. Goot, doop, boop. I'm going to hit you for 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to spend 8 to get the flipendo.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Don't forget to take them off your owl.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get to keep those.
Nope. And new to the lineup is Gregory Goyle.
Oh,
Once per turn.
Slytherin.
Yes. Once per turn, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it has a value of 1 or more, opponent puts a hex in their hand.
Ooh.
So he's going to put a ton of hexes out.
All right. Diffindo.
1, 2,
I get
3,
to I get
4,
to
5.
banish a card from my hand or discard pile. So that hex you just put in my deck goes away.
Aha.
A quick quotes quill. I gain 1 of these, and I gain 1 attack for each ally I have. I only have 1. That's annoying. Thank goodness, Petrificus Totalis. I am going to get rid of Cedric because he is
definitely
making my
helping me a
life
lot.
very difficult. I'm going to gain 1 of these, and books. I am going to gain 2 of these. I'm going to hit you once for all the good it does me.
Yep.
And bank 1 and spend 3 for an Accio. Again, I don't think I'm gonna make. I don't think I can come back from this. My deck is not. My deck's not as good.
Yeah. Harry,
Yeah, that's the end of me.
if I play at least 3 spells, I get 2 attack.
Yeah.
I've only got 2 spells.
I have a feeling I'm still dead.
Yeah,
So.
Petrificus Totalis. Either gain an attack or choose one of your opponent's allies. I'll gain the attack.
Yeah.
And that's gonna.
That's the end of it.
That's the
Yeah.
end of this round. Quick Quotes Quill. I'll gain 1 influence from it. And Wand. I gain another attack. And Revelio. Reveal the top card. It has no value.
You wouldn't
So I
get
gain
it.
2 influence. I have 3 influence to spend. Could you reveal?
Vincent Crabbe.
Oh wow, Crab and Goyle are both out. I'm going to spend 3, get this Accio, and now it's on to round 3, right?
Yeah, Vincent Crabbe does something similar to Goyle, except for when you reveal the top card of your deck, if it has a value of 1 or more, the opponent discards a card at random. And the next card out on the thing is Flagrante. You may banish a card from your discard pile and from the classroom, and you gain 1 influence for each card banished with this spell.
Who would you like to go first this next round? Oh, don't forget to put your owl in your hand.
Oh, right.
In your deck.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
So, interestingly, facing that way, right?
Yeah?
Facing that way, right?
Oh. Interesting. So starting cards are printed.
backwards, as it were.
I don't know. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I had all my cards turned like the right way,
Yeah.
and then I drew 2 allies in one hand, and they were facing in opposite directions. It was very strange.
All right. Draw my hand. Okay.
All right. So the first thing I have to do is play Conjunctivitis. So I can only play 2 spells this turn.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop me from bringing out Minerva.
Nope. She is pretty good.
She is. And I am not going to play this Alohomora, but I am going to play this Bombarda.
Okay.
One, and I can banish something from the classroom. I'm going to banish Crab. And a Sleeping Draft has come out.
Okay.
And I'm going to play Priori Incantatum to play Bombarda again. Get another one of those.
Yep.
So that worked out quite well for me.
Yeah, that did.
And get rid of Goyle.
There he goes.
And what has come out is a Gryffindor spell, Stupefy. Opponent discards a card at random, and if you have Gryffindor allies, you gain 2 power.
Okay.
So, yep, I only have 2 of these. That gets me
Nothing.
absolutely zip.
But you hit me 3 times.
But I hit you 3 times.
Whap, whap, whap. Okay.
Those go there. That is my hand.
Okay. My go. Scourgify. I may banish a card from my discard pile. I have
not
no
have a
discard
discard
pile. That spell has not helped me very much.
It's so frustrating.
I have an owl. Protego. Gain 1 influence and 1 life. I'll just use that life now. I may banish a hex from my discard pile. Flipendo. Gain 3 attack and draw a card.
Ow! Don't like it.
That's why it cost me 8.
Yeah.
Draw a card.
I don't have a whole lot of health gain.
Neville.
Yeah.
And Petrificus Totalis. Yeah. I'll do 3 damage to you.
Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious who's winning this game. I stunned you once.
Yeah.
I don't think
you
it's
got the
happening.
first stun
I don't
in.
think it's happening again.
All right, your go.
Your deck is.
I'm just going to bank this one on my owl.
Your deck has a lot of synergy, and I have too many hexes. They are not good. I wanted to buy that hex placing card and couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And you grabbed it. So
An early game, too. So
yeah,
it's been doing
so
that a lot.
it's been real nasty. So I have a hex, Sectum Sempra. I can't gain more than 1 heart this turn. Which doesn't matter because I don't have any life gain. So doesn't help me. Doesn't hurt me either because I'm already hurting. I am going to play Rictum Sempra. Gets me one of these. Play a Alohomora. Gets me one of these. I will play Bombarda. Gets me one of these. And I can get a card out of the lineup. Don't want that in your hand. Remus Lupin is out. Once per turn, if you gained a heart, gain 1 power and draw a card. Wow, I really don't want you to have that, and you're going to get it. And
Well,
books.
it costs 7.
You're going to get it, Andy. You were able to spend 8.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I'm kind of feeling a little demoralized. I know my deck is far worse than yours, so.
Do you want to just call it?
No, I mean, we'll
Okay,
play
we'll
it
play
out,
it
but
out.
I know I'm not
Okay.
winning this. I'm 100% sure I'm not winning this. So, I am going to draw a card and return my books to the library and see what happens. I get my owl, which means I can put that on it, because I only had 1.
Right.
So, and I will hit you twice.
Bip, bip.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what the top card of my deck reveals. Accio. I gain 2 influence.
Books become very difficult when you have hexes in your deck.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of books, and now I have a bunch of hexes. So.
Well.
Yeah, I just know that you have a really good ally engine, and once it's out, it's almost impossible for me to gain any ground.
Yeah.
And I don't have any life gain in here, and at this point, I'm unlikely to gain any. So, not enough randomness to help the player behind. There's a lot of randomness is the problem. It's at the point where it's once you with deck building games, if you've built a good engine into your deck, that's it. That's how the game a deck building game works. A non co-op deck builder, building a good deck wins you the game. That's how it works. That's the whole point.
No, but I understand what he's saying. It feels like
behind.
It needs some form of rubber band mechanic so that if you're consistently being beaten on,
but it's only
get some
3
advantage.
stuns is the problem. So it's not like you're being consistently beaten on. It's just that I know at this point that my deck is not as effective as your deck. Like, I know that my cards don't have the same sort of synergy.
Yeah.
And I think some of that is down to randomness in that the cards that I drew randomly did not buy me the cards that had the synergy that I needed to build a deck that worked, and you did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, randomness in this case worked against me and worked very well for Andy. So.
Yeah, I feel a little bad because I didn't really know what I was building towards, but I was like, oh, I'm going to get as many allies as I can, and then it just, they
I mean, I
worked well
wanted to
with
get
each
as many
other.
allies as I could too. I just didn't have the ability to buy them when they came out. So.
And I kept putting hexes in your deck.
Yeah.
And some of them whiffed.
But some of them are real nasty.
Yeah.
Some of them are, really. And they take up a place in your hand is the problem. It's not that it whiffs. It's that that's one card I don't have to do something effective.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I have conjunctivitis. Maybe it doesn't affect me because I only have 1 spell in my hand, but then I only have 4 cards to play instead of 5.
Yeah.
So. This is kind of why competitive deck builders for me, I don't think I like this round mechanic. Because I feel like if we weren't doing a round mechanic, you have more of a chance to be like, all right, I need to do some sculpting. I need to be picking these cards. I need to be keeping these cards away from you. But there's a time limit. I have a very specific time limit.
Yeah.
And I only have so many chances. And then I lose my hand, and I lose my allies, and I start from scratch.
Yeah.
And then I know my deck isn't built as well, but I'm having to start drawing up from scratch
I've
again.
also
You lose momentum.
been strangely lucky. I only have 1 Petrificus Totalis in my deck.
And you have managed
I've drawn
to
it
hit
every time you get
McGonagall
McGonagall.
every time.
Yeah. It's just bad luck.
She is my one powerhouse card because she's the one that I've been able to afford.
Yeah.
And just how it goes.
I don't really feel like playing it out.
Andy,
Okay.
play it.
Okay. Well, I have a wand. Gain 1 attack.
There is no more players. This is a 2-player game.
Yeah.
This is meant to be a dueling game.
I've got Cedric Diggory.
There's your
and
engine.
then, Yep, Mandrake, attack and heal. And the heal gives me another attack and a heal.
That's a vicious, vicious engine.
Expecto Patronum, gain 2 influence. Hit you for 3. I've got 4 influence. I'll buy this. Flagrante. Your go.
All right. So I can banish a card from my hand or discard pile.
Oh, I didn't refill. Hang on.
That, well, I mean, I'm banishing that no matter what, so.
Chocolate Frog. It is a Gryffindor card. Gain 2 influence, and if you're a Gryffindor, gain 1 life for each ally you have in play.
Well, I'm going to hit you for 2.
Okay. Boop, boop.
Bank 1, lose 1.
Okay. And then...
Yeah, I don't have any life gain, and I don't have anything
we'll
that...
just,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely it can feel very one-sided.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer after round 1, because I didn't feel like I had any chance against you. Once you had that out...
Yeah, this going on with
Never
Neville,
letting that happen again.
Neville and Cedric.
Yeah, evil.
Yeah.
There's no, like, you're basically just, they're synergizing with each other to the point where I can't keep you hurt. And you're attacking me with the healing that keeps you from being hurt. It's vicious.
Yeah. I like the theory of the game.
Yeah.
And like you said, for kids, it's not a violent game.
You
It's
would
not
definitely
an
be able to
attacking
say,
sort of
no,
game."
you're learning. This is the whole point, is that you're learning how to be, how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't love the round mechanic. I think that's the thing that really bugs me, because I feel like you have such a limited clock to knock out your opponent, and then you kind of have to scrabble back, and it's harder to feel like you can gain any ground. It felt like I had less of a chance to sort of rework my deck.
Right. Do I have any library books left in my deck? No. So I note that all the cards have an icon in the upper right
With 2 wands.
with 2 wands. I assume that means that there will be expansions that have different
I assume.
icons there. We'll see. Are you looking at some of the other hexes?
Yeah, they're all horrible. I don't love these. It's a neat game. I don't know how often I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
I just think it's way too easy for one person to sort of get an engine going and then they're unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And
had
I
that
don't
feel.
think there's a good way to, because then I was like, oh, well, I'm getting hit so fast at that
Yeah.
point that I don't have a chance to rework and position myself. It's like, oh, I know I need life gain. Oh, but I'm dead 2 turns later. Oh, I know I need life gain. Okay, that's the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like, there's no chance to fix anything. And because then I had so many hexes in my deck, I wasn't able to be gaining enough influence to be buying the more powerful cards that would then let me synergize and regain some ground. There was just no chance.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's not. I mean, you played the cards you got, and you built a good deck. So it was just a bit of a bummer.
It was mostly luck. I don't think that my brain was working at a high enough level that I was planning.
You
what I
happened
built.
upon a really good engine.
Yeah.
And
once it started going, it was just,
there was no. I could not save myself against it.
You did exile a lot of stuff. But that wasn't necessarily helping you. It was just keeping stuff away from me.
Yeah, I was just getting things away from you, which certainly wasn't actually helping me because it wasn't getting them out of your deck. It was just keeping them out of your deck. It wasn't getting the things that were hurting me out of your deck. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you for playing. I feel like we need to sleeve these cards up because my fingers feel waxy.
Yeah. I don't know that we're going to play it so frequently, Andy, that it's going to matter. I don't know that that really is an issue. I'll be fair. Here.
All right, these are all the starters. The house cards. There you go. How's the kitty? She is so wonderful. We have been slowly weaning her off of her medication,
For anxiety meds.
her anxiety meds, and she seems to be taking it pretty well.
Yeah.
She has a routine. She
And
wakes
likes
up
to
at
stick to it.
5:30 exactly every morning. We've actually, I don't know if you were here last week, but I speculate that one of our neighbors has an alarm that we can't hear, but she can.
Because she did let us sleep in the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She like did not get up at the crack of dawn, and I suspect it's because the neighbor who normally has that alarm probably slept in.
You want these two?
They have separate bags.
So yeah, she gets us up, or starts waking us up at 5:30. We feed her at 6, so she spends half an hour like standing on my head.
Yep.
And being adorable, but not letting me
Consistent.
sleep.
Hey, Pi. We played a game. It was okay.
Yeah, it was.
Andy
I feel
clobbered
bad
me.
about how well my deck worked.
Andy's deck fired off beautifully. It was a little bit of luck, but it fired off beautifully.
Oh, instructions.
Oh.
But we were talking about Cat.
Yes. Ooh.
So, wow.
That is a lot of bits.
Thank you, Insidious Pie,
Happy
for
your
2,000
birthday.
Birthday?
Is it your birthday
man.
today?
I didn't know that. We should do something for her birthday.
Yeah.
So Pi, we are looking forward to playing more D&D sometime,
Yeah.
because we want to do that again. Oh, I love Amanda's hat. Is your head all warm and hot?
Yes.
Yes, D&D is something that's going to happen eventually. I want to see if I got any new emotes from that giant amount of bits that Pi just threw at us. Oh, Amanda, you got a Keebler elf?
Apparently.
Ooh, I did get a new emote.
Yeah, the
What is
nice thing
this?
about this hat is that I can do this, which I know isn't where it's supposed to go, but it does keep me warm.
It keeps your face warm.
Yeah.
So I got a horrible goose emote.
So that's
Very
a horrible,
holiday.
horrible goose.
So Amanda and I have had very, very long weeks. I would love to hang out and chat, but
It's 9:20.
sleep is
and
something that we need.
I have things I gotta do at home, so. And I have you're gonna go to work tomorrow, and I have Swedish Yuletide tomorrow. It is
I
Swedish
forgot to get
Yuletide.
cash for you. I'll
Well,
get
that's
cash on the way
an
home.
issue. Yes, hat armor. tomorrow is the Swedish Women's Education Association's annual Swedish Yuletide Festival in Boston. And it is at the Cyclorama in Boston, which is a really neat building. And I'm basically going to go into Boston and eat a waffle with whipped cream.
Sounds good.
And probably buy something made out of straw, as is my custom. Maybe buy something carved out of wood.
Good night, Lobster of Revenge.
And good night, Lobster of Revenge. And then eat some meatballs and listen to the Lucia girls sing. And it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to go with my parents. Unfortunately, the T is being a butt tomorrow. They're running buses from Broadway to Kendall.
So you're going to try and drive in?
We're going to Uber.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's an excellent idea.
My parents have discovered Uber, and they're like, oh, yeah, we'll just do that. And they'll drop us off right in front of the Cyclorama, and then it won't matter.
Yeah.
And then we'll just get one home.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. So yeah, that's going to be my tomorrow, and then my mom and I are going to set up the tree in her house.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
We should set up our tree.
We should. I'm worried about our tree.
Yeah. Speaking of cat.
Yeah.
She's
a huntress,
rambunctious.
and she likes batting at things and attacking things. And I have a sneaking suspicion that she's going to attack our tree and everything on it. So none of the glass ornaments go out.
Nope.
We're not putting anything glass.
Just plush ornaments.
Plush ornaments, plastic ornaments. Like, I think we could probably put up, like, the Lego train that I have. The plastic ornaments that Elena and Cecilia made us many years back, the, like, kitty one. Which now, I mean, it was supposed to be, I think, Zoot. And now I think it could be Clara. She's our third tuxedo.
Yeah.
My fourth. Because I
don't know why we always get tuxedos.
Tuxedo cats just like us. So, yeah, we have one of those, and then there's another one that I think is like a gift or something. No, it's a star that they made out of perler beads. So we could probably put that up. She might chew on it. If we see tooth marks on it, we'll know to move them.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically only things that are not necessarily Clara-proof, but things that she won't absolutely destroy just by, like, batting at them. Straw ornaments. I mean, I could bring out straw ornaments. She would eat those.
Yeah, she totally
that
would.
That
would be a disaster.
Yeah, she would have little straw poops. So.
Anyways.
Yeah, well, we've got some, like, fluffy ones and some soft things and some hard plastic and some metal.
Yeah, the metal stars will be good.
The metal stars will be fine, and we've got, like, that metal cat ornament. Oh, no, I gave that to Jam and Cat.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have the heavy one. I do have another one that's lighter.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's getting to be that time of year.
It is.
Holiday time.
Yeah. We could just fold a whole bunch of origami cranes and hang cranes in the tree, and then if she turns into Addie and destroys them, we just fold more.
Yeah. We had a cat who loved to attack origami cranes, and it was adorable.
His favorite thing in the world, and he would bat them around and play with them, and eventually he would destroy them. He would catch it and go, rip, and you'd hear it rip. And then I'd just fold him another one. The easiest, cheapest cat toys.
And he loved them.
God, did he love them.
Loved them.
Yeah. We find one every once in a while that's got tooth marks in it, so. Oh, he was a good boy.
All right.
What a good Addie he was.
Yeah, I miss him.
Well, we have a Clara at home.
Yep. We'll go home.
So we're going to head home to her.
Give her some love.
Happy birthday, Pie.
Happy birthday, Pie. We will see you in the internet.
It is birthday season.
It is.
I have a birthday, and Pie has a birthday. Jay has a birthday.
I have a birthday in
You have
January.
a birthday. My mom
Derek
has a birthday. My brother has a birthday. Derek has a birthday. My friend Jenny has a birthday. It's just
birthday time.
All birthdays all the time. December birthday squad.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. No stop.
Thank you so much for joining us. and we will see you next week with more gaming. Bye.
Bye.